What's going on, Sophia? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Oh, Sophia. Before I ask you why, I need to ask you your age. How old are you?
I am of age.
Which is?
Whatever age it is to vote.
And that is?
18?
So you think that you're 18? Are you like, you're
I think so, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
okay. So what year are you born in?
Around then.
Get out of the goddamn live. Get out of the goddamn live. Sabrina, thank you so much for the 30 Canadian dollars over on Super Chat. I really appreciate you for the love. Everybody, please show some love to Sabrina down below in the chat. That is so incredibly kind of you. And as well as Onion, thank you for the $10 saying, should I move to Canada yet, or is there still hope left for us? There's going to be help in midterms and presidential elections. Until then, we're fucked. But Jen, thank you for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat. I appreciate everyone for being so incredibly kind today, y'all. Holy hell, you guys have been so kind. But oh my God, Grace with the $20 on PayPal saying, here you go. Dude, Grace, thank you for the $20 donation. That is so incredibly kind. Everybody show some love to Grace. And for Ryan with a 5, Danielle with a 15. Thank you guys so much. And then Cammie with the 25. Thank you guys. Show some love to Cammie, Elena, Grace, and then Ryan with a 5, Danielle with a 15, and Heather with a $20 over on Venmo as well. Thank you, Heather. You are the GOAT. Thank you guys so much for the love. Bailey, what's going on? Do you sport shop? So he waited for me to finish talking, and then he just left. Oh my God, no. All right, moving on to the next guest. Elizabeth, thank you for the $1 of Venmo. Hello, Bree. Do you support Trump?
Oh my God, I just requested. I didn't think I'd actually get in. Wow.
I'm pretty sure
I
that
do
it's
support
organized.
Trump.
I'm pretty sure that it's organized by following count, and because you have 1.1 million followers, it just put you at the top.
Wow, okay, wasn't expecting that. But I do want to say, Dean, I genuinely have so much respect for you. I think you are very you articulate. You use facts, and that's what I can appreciate because I think America is filled with a lot of hate on both sides, and I really love what you do because let's take your debate with Charlie Kirk, right? And when I watched that, I had so much respect for you. Whereas when other people go in, they tend to argue with emotion instead of facts, and you're able to keep your composure, right?
It depends.
So
It depends on the debate. Sometimes I can't keep my composure, but I do try, and I do
I mean, I
appreciate that.
do
It's
get
very
that, but
kind.
from what I've seen from you, I do think, and I think that's because I love watching both sides. Like I will watch you sometimes because but what I don't like is I think on both sides, like you see Charlie's videos on TikTok where people come up to the stand and they really are not, educated. And then it's just clips of him destroying these other people that are at a disadvantage, right?
That's kind of his whole
Um,
thing, because whenever anybody that is educated tries to talk to him, he says, "Fuck no."
I mean, I can say, but all I'm saying is that I appreciate what I value is two educated people able to have a discussion that is fair and not emotional and just facts because I want to see other people's sides, and I
Okay,
guess I
you
didn't
know
really
what?
come on here to debate you. I
Well,
just to like
I appreciate that, and I could agree. I do think that transparent dialogue between people that disagree, especially people
yeah.
that have spent a long time trying to collect information to justify what they believe in, is
Hmm.
really important. But how I would love to debate you. I mean, you did tell us that you
I
support
mean,
Trump. Do you just want to have like more of a
yeah, so
conversation about it? You could tell us your reasons. I could
no,
tell
I
you what
mean,
I think.
I really, I don't want to debate. It's just I did want to come on here and give you props for being able to hold your composure and argue with facts. Whereas you see a lot. Everything I feel like is very emotional nowadays. People lose family over politics, friends over politics. I think that is so detrimental to America because you should not be taking these relationships and I think what's
Here, well, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next guest just because we are looking for debates. But before I do, one last thing I'll say to you is I agree. The fact that politics are splitting apart friendships and families is bad. But what I think is
Yeah.
bad there isn't the fact that people are willing to end friendships over politics, but more so the fact that politics cause people to end friendships. And that's why I think that we need to take human rights out of politics, agree on a set of basic facts of human decency. So then, American politics could be left up to debating economic policy. And I think that
Yeah.
is where I want to see America in the next 8 to 12 years. And that'd be great to see. But hey, man, appreciate you for coming up. We're going to move on to the next guest. And I hope you have a good rest of your day, Bree. If you're MAGA, go ahead and let me know down below in that comment section, and we will get you up here for debate. Let's go to get that next guest up here right now. Also, Sophia, hop out of that queue. You're like 14, please, dear Lord. Mr. Patty Pat, hello. Do you support Trump?
Dean, I love you.
Hey.
But I support Trump.
Oh, Pat, man, no. You had me there in the first half. I was really happy. Okay, all right. Let's have a discussion. Before we do, I got to thank Burgundy for the $10 over on Venmo. Thank you so much for the love, Burgundy. As well as JT with a $15 on Venmo as well, saying, saw you on Surrounded. It was fantastic. Dude, thank you, JT. And that's Mr. Sandman in the chat. Very kind. All right, let's talk. Why do you do it? Why do you support Trump?
Mainly because of his foreign policy.
Okay, do you mind if I ask you what time it is right now?
Sorry?
Do you mind if I ask you what time it is right now?
Sure.
So what time
You
is
can
it?
ask me?
Yeah, so what time is it right now?
6 p.m.
Really? What state are you in?
Yep. Pennsylvania.
Name 3 cities in Pennsylvania.
This guy. Philadelphia.
Okay, we're cooking?
What the fuck? No?
No, I said like we're cooking. All right.
Dean, listen.
Wow, how did you know it was 6 in Philly?
I guessed, bro.
You guessed right.
Literally, I guessed, yeah.
That's I gotta say, man, that's pretty impressive. Like if
Thank
I had
you.
to like guess like the time in like the UK right now, oh my god, I couldn't even start. Hey man, we of course that we're only looking.
Have a good day, bro. Have a good day.
You know what? You as well, bro. Great guess. I gotta say, man, like the education system, just about like the earth is so much better outside of America. Like people outside of America, like they know the basics that a lot of Americans don't, like how many continents there are. But then they also just like know shit. Like, oh my God, it is currently 6 p.m. in the state of Philadelphia, in the country of America, where in the state of Philadelphia, crazy.
No.
In the state of Pennsylvania, where Philadelphia is also a city. I don't know. It's crazy. Anyways, what is up, Al? Do you support Trump?
So I came up here because I want to bring attention to something earlier.
I'm so sorry. We are just looking to debate Trump supporters. We're gonna move on to the next guys. But if it was something important that you want to bring attention to, I guess I'd have no way of knowing if it's important if you don't tell us. So you should.
I love you so much, Dean.
Hey, Stacey, I appreciate you for that love. That's very kind of you. But we are just
It's
looking
okay.
for some debates. But that is very kind of you, Stacey. DM me on Discord, because if it's like something like actually like important that you want to bring attention to, let's do it. All right, we're gonna move on to the next guest, guys. Keep in mind that we are just looking to debate Trump supporters. Go ahead and throw a MAGA down below in the comment section right now. What is up? Do you support Trump?
Okay, wait, before you kick me, I have a very important question. No, wait.
Well, I guess what if she actually did have an important question? You should DM me on Discord too. I'm sorry, we are just looking for like Trump debates right now. Guys, hello Wayne, do you support Trump?
No, I'm sorry.
No worries, Wayne. I think it's because I'm being like really kind to the people today. Do I need to start like being mean? Guess we'll never know. DJ, thank you so much for the $15 over at PayPal, saying Dean, you are awesome. No, DJ, you are awesome. Thank you for the $50. Everybody, please show some love to DJ down below. Once again, if you are watching and you would like to support me and keep the stream running for 4 hours a day, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio, as well as in the pinned message over on the YouTube stream. I get 100% of those proceeds that go straight to me. Nobody takes a dime outside of Uncle Sam once a year when taxes come around. But I really appreciate you guys all so much for the love. What is going on, Jackson? Do you support Trump?
Oh shit, yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, wait, what?
Why do you support Trump?
Well, I mean, he's doing good for the country, you know. He with the Ukraine stuff, he's proposed many, many different treaties with the mineral deals, has he not? And you with
Has any of it worked?
Zelensky.
I like, you know, like the most recent update from Trump on
Well,
Russia and
let me go to the
Ukraine.
garage. Let me go to the garage real quick. Continue.
So the most recent update on like Russia and Ukraine that's come from Trump after the last 100 days of his presidency. Keep in mind, he said he
Yeah.
could solve it day one. Is as of yesterday, he's literally begging Putin to stop bombing Ukraine.
So how I see that is, as Zelensky, he
Oh,
is
wait, we gotta
declined. Yeah.
double check here. How old are you?
I'm 14.
Damn, dude. I mean, listen, I'm gonna kick you and move on. But
I ain't
like,
trying to debate, bro. Scared.
no, you got to be 18 for TikTok. But I'm
Oh,
just
shit,
gonna.
you do. All right, I
Hey,
got you. I got
hey,
you.
man.
That's fair.
Before I kick you, I just want you to finish your sentence there real quick about
So
Zelensky and Ukraine.
with Zelensky, he's in a position where he can't take a no. Like, let's say somebody takes your family, right? You have 5 million in your account, right? The ransomist wants 3 million. You're not in a position to say no. I get Putin is definitely not in the right for invading whatsoever. But with the land he's already taken, Zelensky's not in a position to say no to the deals that are being proposed. His people are getting killed daily. Is he not?
Now I gotta kick you because you're 14. Wow. Damn. I wish. I mean, I obviously like the like his beliefs were backwards, but simultaneously, I wish like I had that vocabulary at 14. I wish I was able to like present my thoughts and structure them in such a manner like that at 14. That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, that's like genuinely impressive. I really hope that like, here's what I'll say for that 14-year-old dude. Please listen into my stream. You're gonna be poisoned by whoever the RNC red pillars are in your family that are telling you to believe that. And it's going to stick around because you're going to feel confident in holding to those beliefs because you're pretty fucking smart for your age. But you're wrong. And you should listen to me. Maybe I could convince you why. But guys, go to drop a Maga down below in that chat if you do want me to bring it up here. We're going to go to get that next guest up at the stream, y'all. Wow. All right, guys. What's going on, Melissa? Do you sport? And Melissa said goodbye, quite frankly. Everybody is dipping out. Smart, but wrong. Yeah, you know what? I actually want to put this out there. I'm really sick and tired of the narrative. And I'm going to tell you guys why. And I feel like I'm going to lose you at the start of what I'm about to say, but then I'm going to get you back at the end. Just follow along. I don't like the narrative that like every single Trump supporter is dumb. Okay? I hate that narrative so much because what it does is it allows the smart Trump supporters that don't support Trump because they think he's better for the world, but rather support Trump out of either egoism, self-interest, or like genuine prejudice against other people. Like we just forget about them in that process. So I think that we need to remember that there is a lot of people that support Trump that are intelligent, are very intelligent, that support Trump because of their own prejudice, their own biases, or like their own self-interest or lack of care for others. Anyways, what's up, Milan? Do you support Trump?
To be honest, I just wanted to say that Trump sucks because of the tariffs.
Base man. All right, here's what we're gonna do, guys. Go ahead and drop a MAGA down below in that comment section right now if you want to be invited up onto the stream. We are only looking to debate people that are at least 18 years old from America and do support the president. And we're having a little bit of a hard time finding them right now.
What do I say?
Like a child with other people in the room. It's proven to be very difficult to find some Trump supporters for us right now, which is crazy considering the fact that we have like so many people in here. We're gonna move on to the next guest right now. What is this guy's bio, bro? No
What's
way.
up, man?
What's going on, Mark? How we doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Out of curiosity, it says in your bio.
I just want to know why you think Trump is terrible for America when you have people who are even on your side literally proving you wrong every day.
Mark, I got you. I'll answer your question. I just like want to double check because I'm like looking at your bio. It says CHS 97. Why do you have like the year you graduated high school from in your bio?
A lot of people do.
Okay, go ahead and ask your question.
Why do you think that Trump is terrible for America when you even have people on your own side that are proving you wrong every day?
Like liberals come up here and prove me wrong. I don't really think that.
I've seen liberals on the internet talk about, well, Trump, we need people who are doing something different. And Trump's that guy who came in here and he's making deals and offers, and the other countries might not like it, but they have to toughen up and deal with what Trump is offering them. They got to deal with what Trump's giving them. And right now,
Hey, man.
he's giving them something that's going to make us better.
Can you give me like the handle of one liberal that has ever said this, like publicly?
Look up all the Democrats and the economists. All the economists were on your side at first because they were just probably getting paid out under the table to say random propaganda bullshit. And now they're the ones coming out and saying, "Oh, well, Trump's plan is actually going to make us rich."
Actually, Trump's plan is going to make the rich people richer. Sure. But actually, financial institutions that do fiduciary work for their clients, here's the deal. The chairman of the Fed is saying that America is heading towards a recession, that America might even potentially experience stagflation. Atlanta Fed says the same thing. GDP Now from the Atlanta Fed says the same thing. JP Morgan is officially projecting a recession this year. Goldman Sachs is officially projecting a recession this year. All reputable and credible institutions of finance do indeed project that Donald Trump's policy for the economy is terrible and will send us into negative GDP growth for over 2 financial quarters. So your claim that the economists are defending Trump is unilaterally false.
So how come all them economists that you say are saying that are probably, or you can look them up, they're all Democrats. They've already been Democrats.
Dude, the chairman of the Fed, Jerome Powell, was originally appointed by Trump. Why would Trump appoint a flaming liberal?
Who?
Jerome Powell. Mark. Jerome Powell.
What does he do?
He's the chairman of the Federal Reserve.
And what's so bad about him?
What's so bad about him? I never said there was anything bad with Jerome Powell.
Well, why did you bring him up in the first place?
Because he is Mr. Moneyman, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, and he says that Donald Trump's tariffs are going to slow GDP growth.
Okay, so let me tell you this. You think it could slow it down for a little bit, but when people have good things happen, you have to go through a little pain to feel.
No, that's not true.
So how come you
don't have to feel pain to do good?
LeBron, Kobe, Michael Jordan, LeBron, they all say it too. When you win a championship, you become the greatest player of all time. It takes hard times and work to get there.
Oh, so you're like equating like going to the gym and having your muscles tear to build your biceps into being bigger to experiencing a recession?
We're not experiencing no recession. Where'd you get that from? Out of your asshole?
No.
You getting paid to process propaganda all day long?
Did you just say I'm getting paid to
You're getting paid money to process propaganda.
Say that 3 times fast.
No.
Say it 3 times fast.
How about you just actually hold a real conversation?
Say it 3 times fast. Paid money to process propaganda. Come on.
You do it. I'm not the one over here begging and crying for money.
Dude, Mark, unironically, I've been talking to you this whole time about how much of a shithole you are. When have I begged or cried for money?
Oh, because I'm a shithole. You don't even know my morals.
I know that you have the year you graduated from high school in your bio. What? Did you play football too? You go back to
I played football there for the varsity side, little guy.
Do you go back to one of their games every once in a while?
I live in the same area. Why wouldn't I?
Dude! Mark?
I know the coaches love me. I love the coaches.
Thinking back on like your time in high school, would a fair valuation be to say that was the best time of your life?
No, I love my life right now. I have a beautiful woman and a kid who just came out.
A kid who just came out?
Just a few weeks ago.
What a really crude way to talk about childbirth. I have a kid that just came out.
He did just come out a few weeks ago, buddy.
That's such a crude remark. No.
My dad, my beautiful, amazing woman just gave childbirth a few months ago.
my beautiful, amazing woman just
A
gave
few weeks
childbirth.
ago.
Okay.
It's almost been a month now. He's almost a month old.
Really? How is it being a father?
It was good. It's so stressful.
Very stressful.
Well, you haven't yet proven me one time how Trump is terrible for America.
I haven't yet proven you. So the correct grammatical structure that
I don't
sentence.
care what it is, buddy. You're gonna answer my darn question.
Okay. I'll answer your question. Okay, no, I'll answer your question, but before we do, I gotta thank Erica for the $2 super chat over on YouTube saying more propaganda, please. Tabby with a future encounter. Mello with the 100 SEK over on YouTube super chat. Thank you so much. Can you thank Mello and Erica real quick?
No.
Please?
I'm not gonna thank them little Democrat grifters on here sending you money from the DNC.
Wait, how the fuck so the people that donate to me are quote unquote Democrat grifters that send me money from the DNC?
You get sent money from the DNC. Those aren't even real people giving you money.
What?
Those are people who work in the Democratic Party now, who they are getting on separate accounts trying to send you money.
Wait. So like for instance,
you read it off.
So like
it's
41 seconds ago, I got a donation from Stephanie for $30. Okay, Stephanie L. I won't read out the last name, but it's a picture of like a millennial woman.
You know what? You know how you go on Facebook and TikTok and there's all them bots. They got pictures.
Okay, but like for instance,
AI account.
I just clicked on like Stephanie's Venmo account and I'm like in her public transactions and it looks like she's been paying.
Why are you creeping on? Even if they were real, why would you be creeping on random people like that?
Well, apparently, according to you, it's not a random person; it's a robot. So
it could be.
Issue?
It's you don't even know.
I think I do know. I think
we know your whole little scheme.
I think
we all know.
I think assuming the people that donate to me are like robots is the same level of skepticism. Like assuming the people that you just interact with on a daily basis is just very advanced AI.
No, well, we know who you truly are, buddy. And once we get you exposed, we're all gonna.
What am I gonna get exposed for, bud?
You're gonna get exposed.
Maze, thank you for the $15 over everybody. Shut up. Thank you for the Maze. Maze, thank you for the $15 donation over on Venmo. Thank you so much for the love, Maze, as well. Celia with the $5 over on Venmo. Blake with the $2 over on Venmo. Kirsten with the $20 donation over on Venmo from the DNC. Now, my real life job. I appreciate you for the love, Kirsten. And Blair with the $10 over on Venmo. And Misty with the 5 as well. Thank you so much, Blair and Misty. You guys are so incredibly awesome. And thank you so much for the love and the donations. Everybody, please show some love to the donors. That's so incredibly kind, guys. Thank you so much, as well as Kristen with the $20 super chat over on YouTube saying beep boop bot. That is right. Thank you so much for the love, Kristen, alongside Mello and Maddish. I appreciate you both for the $5. That is so incredibly kind. And Sid with the $20 over on Venmo. Thank you so much for the love, Sid. I mean, sorry, not Venmo, YouTube super chat. You were the best, Sid. Thank you so much. Luca with the $3 over on PayPal. And oh my God, Blair with the $10 on Venmo. Nicholas with the $5 on Venmo. And Jesse with the $30 donation on Venmo from Donald J. Trump. Thank you for the love, Jesse. And
Donald
Jody with the $3.
Well, Donald Trump ain't never gonna give you no money.
According to the donation. Oh,
Do you know who
so
Liam
Trump
is?
isn't going to give us money, so I just want to clarify. So
he's got the video.
Wait, so you just said that Donald Trump's never going to give me money. So in other words, Donald Trump's never going to cut taxes for the average American?
Well, he'll cut your taxes if you want.
But doesn't that give me money?
Doesn't mean that you can't be a horrible person, still go through life just like normal, like you are.
I think I'm a significantly better person.
Do you believe in Jesus?
Do I believe in Jesus? I was raised Catholic. I'm still sympathetic to a lot of Christian values, but no, I'm not a Christian.
You think Trump and Jesus talk?
Mark, what kind of question is that?
You don't think Trump ever you think that if Jesus was a person, he would do bad things? Do you think Jesus would do bad things?
No, like the whole.
So how would Trump, if Trump has been the one talking to Jesus and Jesus has been telling him the plan?
Wait, you think that Jesus has been talking to Trump and telling him what to do?
Well, he's been praying to him, ain't he?
Well, actually,
and Jesus has been responding to his prayers telling him, Trump, I know what you've been doing, and this is what we're going to do together.
Oh, so you think everything Trump's done, he's just done it with Jesus? So like
not everything,
so
not
he,
everything.
So he
but sometimes Jesus will tell him if he's doing right or wrong.
So he raped E. Jean Carroll with Jesus?
Nope.
So
that didn't happen.
Oh, so Jesus wasn't there for that?
Jesus, he doesn't. Jesus will come down and tell him, "Hey, you're not doing this right. You need to do this," because he knows he sees a lot of himself in Donald Trump.
Oh, wow. How do you? Okay, where's this lore coming from? Like, dude, go tell it to Wattpad. But why are you acting as if this is like a true coherent version of reality? Like, guess.
You don't think so?
Mark, on a scale of 1 to 10, guess how like hard it is for me right now to hold back laughing in your face.
Laughing for what, buddy?
Like laughing at you because
Telling you that Trump is the one who prayed to Jesus and said, "Dear Jesus."
So do you think that like Trump is like a prophet of God? Because like actually the
I
definition
think
from the
God
Bible
knows who Trump is, and God might have put him here.
Well, no, like the
purposely.
definition of like a prophet from the Bible is just somebody like in conversation with God to execute upon their commandment. And like seemingly you're saying that's what Trump does. So like, and according with the definition of what a prophet is from the Bible, Trump is a prophet.
Well, I don't know. I saw something online, and I saw another one of your guests come up here, and he was saying the same thing.
So,
and I kind of believe what he said there.
Oh, okay. I think, was that a really long time ago?
It was a really long time ago.
It was? That guy that told me that Donald Trump and Jesus had sent letters between one another, and then when I asked for the evidence, he told me to look it up on Google.
I don't know I don't know what did that.
No? Where can I find evidence that Donald Trump has talked to Jesus?
Well, it's somewhere on a subreddit. You can find it on something. There's proof, and they list the data.
Did you just say that I could find a subreddit that lists the data to show Jesus and Trump talk?
Look it up right now.
On Reddit?
Look it up right now, buddy.
What do I look up?
Look up, did Donald Trump speak to Jesus?
You know what I think you should look up?
Huh?
5150.
What's that mean?
Look it up.
No, you do it.
No, you look it up, Mark.
Why?
So you can figure out what it is.
5150?
Yeah.
Look it up right now?
Yeah.
Why? What does that mean?
Look it up on Google, Mark.
Right now?
Google will tell you, Mark.
5110?
No! 5150. Where, dude?
5151?
No, just 5150. Look it up on
Okay,
Google. Okay, while he's looking that up on Google, I do have a couple people to thank. I'd like to thank Mr. Lamb for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat. Saying, quite frankly, what is this guest do? They're crazy. Thank you for the love, Mr. Lamb. As well as Danny with a 10, Kenny with a 5, Hello
What
World
does that
with a 5.
even mean?
That means, don't worry about it. Sam with a $5 on YouTube Super Chat. Gradients with a $5. Can you thank Sam and Gradients?
Huh?
Oh my God, Liz with the $5 on Venmo from Jesus. Oh my God, you hear that?
You need to pull that big old liberal bullshit.
Ashley, thank you so much for liberal stick out of my behind. Wow, you have quite the imagination, Mark. I'm never thought about that ever before, but
You know, you're
have.
just a gross little guy.
You're thinking about a liberal stick in my rear end.
Liberal stick full of propaganda shoved so far up your ass it's poking out your damn eyeballs. You can't see straight.
So, and who's the gross one in this scenario, Mark? Because that was pretty graphic.
You're the one who's got it all the way up there, and you must seem to enjoy it.
Mark. Okay, it's time. Mark, okay, listen. I know who you are. The bit's up. The bit's up, Mark. Whoop, cat's out of the bag. I remember you about halfway through when you started talking about Trump and Jesus.
About what?
When are you going to give up the bit? You've been running this bit for over a year now.
No, I haven't. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you have. We've had this discussion before. Yeah. You used to come up here all the time and you used to say, Trump talked to Jesus. They sent letters back and forth. You want evidence? How about you look it up on Google?
I never said that once.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And then I followed you on one of your accounts because I'm not going to lie. Sometimes you could be pretty fucking funny. You're a pretty funny troll. Okay. Then I want to message you about like, you know, just having like a really lighthearted bit for comedy because you're just completely satire. And you know what you messaged me back?
I don't remember nothing because I didn't do nothing.
Yeah, we all remember you, Chris Webb.
What'd I message you, buddy?
I don't know, but you just kept up the bit even in DMs. This guy's never dropped his guard, not once. This guy's been keeping the same bit running, whether it's publicly or privately, for over a year.
That doesn't even make sense.
What if he's just not fucking trolling? And this is just really how he feels.
You think I'm a troll because of what? Because I come up here and tell you things that you can't.
Because you told me to go to Reddit to find evidence that Donald Trump talks
There's
to
literal
Jesus.
posts and links in there that you can click to other websites that show you the proof.
Then why don't you show me it right now?
I told you where to go, and you won't. You won't figure it out for yourself.
You literally just said subreddit. Okay, I think that there's over, like, what is it? 50 million of
Look
those?
up Trump Jesus subreddit.
No, that's too vague too. Brenna, thank you for the $5 on PayPal saying that Jesus talked to you, told me to send you that. Let's go, Brenna.
You clearly
As well as
need to get your
Maze,
morals
thank you so
straight.
much
I
for the
hope
$10 over on
Monday
Venmo. Ashley, thank you for the 20. And
get them
Liz,
demons
thank
out
you for
of
the
your
5.
head.
And then
Straight.
Ashlyn, thank you for the 15, saying definitely a bot. Jessica and Emily with a 5 each. Kenya with a 10. Jessica with a 5, saying Slay King. Tammy with a 10. Thank you so much, Tammy. Jason with a 5. Nicholas with a 5. Thank you, everyone, so much for all of the love over on Venmo. Quite frankly, that's the truth. As well as Patricia, thank you for the $10 over on PayPal. Allison with a 20 said, guess I'm the DNC. That's right. Mark, thank you so much for the 30. Say, keep kicking ass. I'll never stop, guys. Thank you so much for the love, everyone. Oh, my God. Okay, Mr.
You're just a gross little guy. Gross little devious guy, and I'm going to have to pray for you later tonight.
Why do you think I'm gross? Oh, he left. He's going to pray for me later tonight. Oh, man. Thank you for the galaxy. All right, I guess we're going to move on to the next guest. Honestly, at this point, I don't even know if that guy's trolling or not. He's just been keeping up the bit for so long. Oh, my God, Grace. Thank you for the $50 donation over on Venmo. Holy shit, Grace. Dude, Grace, that's insane. I want to see 500 W Graces down below in the comment section. For the $50, Grace says, DNC forced me to send this to you. Love you, dude. I love you too, Grace. Thank you so much for the $50. That's crazy. What's going on, Nolan? Do you support Trump?
I did not mean to join.
No worries, Nolan. I got you. And then also Sid. Sid with the $30 donation over on, let's see here while we're getting the next guest up in here. Over on Venmo saying, gross little devious guy fund. Yeah, I need to change my bio. Gross little devious guy. All right, new bio, y'all. But thank you for the love, Sid. Guys, go to Drop a Maggot down below in that comment section if you do want to come up in the debate. Y'all already know. By the way, everyone in here should follow my Instagram. We are like on the path to 1 million followers. What's going on, Justin? Do you support Trump?
What's up, Dean? How you doing today? I do.
Are you driving?
I am home.
I'm sorry, Justin. You can't be driving while you're on TikTok Live, so we are going to move on to the next guest. By the way, for everyone watching, we just got another warning on the live, so it's possible that this live is going to get taken down soon. If it does, just head over to YouTube. What's going on, Vanity? Do you support Trump?
No, I just want to say, Dean, you're amazing. My girlfriend loves you. Yeah, that's it.
Dude, hey, man, I appreciate you so much for coming up here and showing some love. Dude, Vanity, Vanity's girlfriend. Typically, when I see accounts like that, their name is Vanity, and their profile picture, it's like expensive shoes and watches on the internet, that leads me to the conclusion that it's likely somebody that's in the internet finance bro space that just loves Trump. But that guy was chill as hell, so I appreciate that. W's to you and to your girlfriend. W's to you both. What's up, Ben? Do you support Trump?
Hey, Dean. So I actually, up until recently, I did. Up until recently.
Oh, wow.
I'm from Palm Beach Island originally. That's where my family's from and stuff. I got important connects. But I just have a question for you, if you'd be willing to answer.
Yeah, but if you ask me a question, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, of course.
Sweet, ask away, man.
All right. So my father, he was a Marine for 23 years, intelligence officer, always told me Trump's in with the Russians. Don't vote for him. But I was just mad. My mom, for some reason, didn't want to admit it, so I voted for him this election. Completely regret it. So what do you say? What should we do to move forward? Because what about the next president? Because he's just going to do what Trump does, but smarter and better, and we're fucked. You know.
Well, I think that the way that we move forward is with a Democrat populace. So like in the Democratic Party, there's kind of a split between the people in the institution and then more populist candidates like AOC and Bernie against, you know, like super PACs with that don't have to report where they're spending their money, and they're a little bit more modern in the sense that, you know, they fight for working class Americans and they're really
I agree.
and they're truly about the people.
I'm
And
from Vermont, big Bernie fan here. So
yeah, exactly. And I really do think that like Democrat populace is probably going to be like the future of not only the Democrat Party, but like hopefully our country, man. And I think the way that we get there is by first deconstructing a lot of the beliefs that people hold in our country about the right. And once we could kind of get people to start rejecting MAGA, rejecting Trump, and recognizing that, you know, him as well as the people he surrounds himself with are genuinely harmful and detrimental to this country and the
I
people
agree.
in it.
I completely agree.
You know, that's when we could kind of start having the conversations about how we want to shape the Democrat Party. And I do think that that is an important second step as well, because like the Democrat Party is by no means perfect, especially the more institutional Democrats. So I think like having that conversation either alongside or once we could convince people that, you know, they shouldn't support Trump is probably the best way to produce the best possible outcome for the future of this country.
All right. And I'm seeing like all these comments, they're saying like, you already did your damage. You can't do anything to fix it. Well, like in that case, like I feel like you can't really say that to people who are trying to like switch their views, switch their stances, because you know you're just going to drive them away and cause them to support more Trump. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to keep an open mind.
I think that two things can be true at once. I think that you did
I
already.
agree. I did
throw your
damage.
vote-
I did do damage. I agree.
You did do damage. You did throw your vote for Trump, but like the best possible way to respond and move forward is exactly what you're doing, and I think we can all appreciate that.
Do you know anything? I mean, it sounds like you're ready to move on to the next person, but do you know anything I can do personally to stop this? Like what I can do to try and help?
You know, I think that I read a quote earlier today. It was from Winston Churchill. Now, I don't think I would be able to quote it precisely or perfectly, but it was something along the lines of do what you can do inside of your means where you're at. And essentially what that means is that everybody, every single American has some level of influence and some level of control over the future of this country. And for most people, what that looks like is joining local movements, going to local protests, and having conversations with people in your life that disagree with you and I, disagree with the premise of this life. And I feel like that is going to be the very best thing that you and everybody else in the stream can do right now. But simultaneously, who knows what that could lead to for you or anybody else in here? Because at one point that was me too. You know, me doing my best was having conversations with my friends that were Trump supporters and going on a live stream to talk to like 30 people about why I support progressive movements. And, you know, like now I have a scheduled debate with Charlie Kirk. I was in the White House in December. And
actually, you got your debate with Kirk?
Yeah, he finally agreed. We're going to have it later.
Thank God. Thank God.
So, you know,
I was hoping to see that.
Yeah, I know it's going to be exciting. But I guess, you know, just really take away from that original statement, do what you can do inside of your means where you're at. You know, it's like, whatever situation you're in, just try to make the most out of it. I feel like likely for you as an individual that, you know, voted for Trump as recently as 2024, like, although like I very heavily disagree with that and I think that causes damage, this does specially position you because you're more like Trump supporters in America today than me or like any other liberal that's voted against him 3 times, right?
I wanted to download True Social. I did that to like try and say why I don't support Trump anymore, right? I gave them my reasons. You can't debate them. They're just immediately, it's attack, it's attack, it's attack, it's attack, it's attack. You can't, you know what I'm saying? I tried to go on Truth. I get worried. I just get real worried.
The first thing is to not go on Truth Social.
Yeah, no, I learned that. I deleted that. I was like, no way. I'm like, I voted for Trump, but now I regret it. And they're like, kill yourself. You hate Trump. Horrible human.
Sorry, Ben. I have to kick you from the live because that will get the live restricted and taken down. I really wish that you could have open and free conversations on TikTok. Like, I think the fact that I had to kick you for that is crazy. And it honestly makes me really sad because I was enjoying the conversation I was having with you. But yeah, Ben, I mean, I think the best thing that you could do is join local movements, attend protests. And I bet, you know, because you voted for Trump in 2024, that there's probably a lot of people in your life that you really care about and really care about you that still support Trump today. And you hold a special privilege as it relates to conversations with them. And they're probably going to be more willing to hear it from you than to hear it from me or, you know, any other radical dim. So, you know, use that to your advantage. But we're going to move on to the next guest. And I really wish there's more people like Ben in this world. What's going on, No Fun? Do you support Trump?
Yes.
All right. Why is that, man?
Because of his policies.
Like which ones?
I'm just kidding. Fuck Trump. I voted Kamala.
Based, man. Moving on to the next guest. Here we are, everyone. Let's go and get Molly up in the box, man. I'm so sad that we had to kick Ben there. L TikTok, bro. By the way, Ben, if you're still listening, that wasn't your fault. You didn't say anything wrong. Just TikTok has terrible terms of service. Yo, Erica, thank you for the $50 donation over on Venmo. Say just another Democrat grifter. Yeah, we just got the restriction from Ben right there, but it didn't apply because I kicked him. Erica says just another Democrat grifter sending money from the DNC. Let's go, bro. The DNC is well funding me today. Thank you so much for the love, Erica. That is literally so kind of you. Everybody, please show some love to Erica down below in that chat, as well as to Steve for the $10 on Venmo, Amy with a 1, and then Lex with a 5. What's going on, Molly? Do you support Trump?
No, he's a racist.
Do you say he's not racist?
He's a racist, bro.
Oh, he is a racist.
He is a racist.
Base fetuses. I think they're likely fetuses. Base fetuses. Moving on to the Book of Tank. Here we go, everyone. Give us a minute. Give us a minute while we get that next guest loaded up here. If you're one of the 6.6 thousand people listening in and you'd like to come up here and debate, go ahead and drop a Maga down below in that chat. What's up, Book? You support Trump?
I support some of his policies. I don't support his necessary immigration policy, but I do support
overall. Do you think he makes a better president than Kamala Harris would have?
I mean, between the both of them, it was a hard choice because she wouldn't have really stood up for our trade war stances of protecting all the money we've lost to China.
Money we've lost to China. So do you think a trade deficit means we are losing money?
Yes, we have lost so much money to China.
Hey, I have a question. Would you have, okay. So, no, that's not what a trade deficit is. So what do you think a trade deficit is? Can you define that?
Like what you owe for trade?
No, right? Thank you so much for being honest and like defining trade deficit in the way in which you thought it was. So a trade deficit doesn't like denote an amount of money that you owe for anything. It's literally just a tool that accountants use to kind of dictate how much product somebody or someone is buying from us compared to how much we're buying from them, right? And then like the negation of the two would be the trade deficit. Like for instance, you know, let's just assume that last month you spent $500 on groceries from your local grocery store. Did your local grocery store spend any money buying things from you?
No.
No, so that means that you're in a $500 trade deficit with your grocery store. Is that a bad thing?
No, because it's normalized to go get stuff from a grocery store.
Right. So it's like trade deficits don't denote any debt that you owe. It's just a simple calculation of how much you've bought from somebody and how much they bought with you. And trade deficits aren't necessarily a bad thing. There you go.
I'm just talking about like all the cheap stuff we buy from them, like that we don't need. Not necessarily food or something like that, but.
Okay. So you want to like stop the ability for people to like buy cheap stuff from China. Why?
Because they're like cheap goods aren't good quality at all. Like we can buy
better quality.
It'll be better quality. Yes.
Okay. I mean, you know, like, so like typically here's the thing. I agree that it's good to have a marketplace in which would have higher quality goods for sale, right? That's that's an opportunity where you could either buy from a higher end foreign producer or a domestic producer. However, I do believe that it is important to have like some low cost goods on the market that aren't of the same quality because the trade-off there is of course the price, and like lower prices are the only prices attainable to a lot of Americans. Does that make sense? I mean, like, yeah, like I think it's a good thing to have higher quality goods in a market, but I think it's also a good thing to have lower quality yet functional goods in the market.
Yeah, it makes it's just like some of the stuff, like the little like cheap electrical stuff. Like I feel like, I mean, I guess it's good, but like also I don't feel like we need necessarily those certain things because.
So is your argument essentially own nothing and be happy? Like you're saying that we don't need these goods from other countries, so who cares if they're more expensive or unattainable? Own nothing and be happy?
Like depending on what technology it is, like if it's like other stuff countries sell and it's only going to be like $10 more from a different country, but I say we buy that one. Just also a global super.
Okay, so I just, in a nutshell, you're basically saying that we should just buy the more expensive products. Why?
Because we should try to help like strengthen the U.S. also, but like try to stop.
Well, I mean, like so you want to strengthen the U.S., but the blanket tariffs have done the opposite. They have decreased foreign investment into the markets, and they've decreased our own, domestic market confidence, and they've sent us barreling towards a recession. And like slowed and even negative GDP growth does not strengthen the American economy. In fact, they do the inverse; they weaken it.
So, but like his main goal is paying off our debt.
His main goal is paying off our debt, so he is going to add more to the debt than Kamala Harris would have. So he's worse for government expenditure.
He hasn't added any yet.
So during his first term, he added over $8 trillion, which was twice as much as what Biden and Harris added in their first 4 years. And then all of his projected policy this term was estimated by the CBO to cost like an additional $10 trillion compared to Kamala Harris's. So that's not true.
Okay. My bad.
Yeah, anything else you want to go over, man?
No, that's about all I got, really. But
okay, have a good rest of your day, man. Honestly, I'm feeling kind of chill. I'm feeling kind of chill right now. I'm feeling kind of chill. Do I need to like be more energetic so I could be more entertaining? I don't know. I'm feeling just kind of, I'm chilling right now. You know what I mean, you guys? I'm in a good mood. And Emily, thank you for the $20 donation on Super Chat saying, hi, Dean. I was one of the people who wrote you a message in the book Sid gave you. I can't donate much, but I just wanted to show you love. I love you so much, bro, Emily. Dude, that was so special. I gotta tell y'all about this while I'm getting the next guest up here. So Sid, a very active member of the community, flew out for the first stop of the Unfuck America tour in Texas, and she gave me a book. It had a couple pages in it, and it was just messages written by other community members. And I essentially read it all last night before I went to bed. And I just wanted to thank every single person who had submitted, statements to Sid to put in that book. And in fact, I mean, I think that there's a lot of people in that book that I recognize, and I'm going to try to do some personal thank yous over the course of the next day or two. It's just so incredibly special. What's going on, King? Do you support Trump?
Not anymore. And I'm going to tell you why. I am a truck driver. I drive coast to coast. And I can tell you that what he has done is going to hurt the United States so tremendously. And all these Trump supporters have no clue what's getting ready to happen. The spot market's down, everything's down, things aren't moving. If things are not coming into the country, they're not going into the stores. So I hope that all these Trumpsters appreciate the fact that all their goods that they're buying from Temu in China, they're disappearing and they're not coming back. So I just wanted to let everybody know that, what Trump has done has just sunk America. And I hope to God that young adults like you can bring us back to where we need to be. I was a Republican for 25 years, and I switched because I knew what Trump was doing. Okay, I knew what he was doing. I knew what he was all about. You can't pull the wool over someone my age, over my eyes at this age. But I saw what was happening. I voted blue for the first time in 25 years. So good luck to you, young man. I mean, I think you're doing us a great service. I just wanted to say how proud I am of you. Keep up the good work. We need you. We desperately need you and your crowd and your supporters, and you're much appreciated. That's coming from a truck driver. And you're not going to find very many blue truck drivers out there, but I'm one of them, and I'm proud of it.
Keep spreading the word. See,
Absolutely.
I 9 out of 10 times I have a liberal come up here. I kind of just cut them off, but I specifically let you continue to speak because you said you were a truck driver. So many, like, America needs to understand that truck drivers, out of like any individual and like given labor forces, probably have one of the better ideas of how the American economy is doing, right?
It's
because
been
the American
happening.
economy is reliant on you, right? So hey,
We see the future.
Yeah, seriously, hey, I really appreciate you so much for coming up, and I hope that you have a good rest of your day. And thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, you too.
And saying some words. Have a good rest of your day, Kathy. What is going on, Luce? Do you support Trump?
Hi, Dean.
Hi, Luce.
I'm 15 years old.
I'm sorry, I gotta kick you. You are underage. We are gonna move on to the next guest. Everyone, go ahead and just give us a minute. Guys, please do keep in mind that we are just going to start looking for some debate. So if you are Maga, let me know in that chat. But we are just looking to debate Trump supporters. Hi, please tell me that you're a Trump supporter, Pinky.
I am a Trump supporter.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's go ahead and have a debate. But before we do, quite frankly, I got to thank a couple people. Lacey, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. Beckett, thank you for the 5. Jacob with a 2. Benjamin with a 3. Amy with a 1. Pinky, please don't leave. Come back. Please don't leave. And then also Shelby with the $25 donation over on PayPal. Thank you so much for the love, Shelby. Everybody, please show some love to Shelby. And Aaron with the 43. Dude, thank you, Aaron and Shelby. Show some love to Aaron and Shelby down below, literally right now. Pinky, please come back. If you could hear me, come back into the TikTok app because we can't hear you. Oh, you're back. Wow.
I'm here.
I thought you were going to leave. Okay, tell us. Why do you support Trump, Pinky?
Well, first, I don't know if everyone remembers, he delayed TikTok. So we wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for Trump, actually, at the moment. So I think that's my strongest kind of reason. I feel like if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't even be discussing any of this. So, like, he's definitely watching out for...
So let's assume that view is true, that he saved TikTok. I would rather have the 60 great victims per day that are currently denied access to abortion because of Trump have access to abortion than me have access to TikTok.
Why so?
Why so? Because I value human rights over social media.
So isn't it a human right to like be responsible for their body and for the future of the country? Like, I feel like a lot of us are not being too responsible.
Pinky, I'm really hoping that you just didn't hear what I said. I said great victims.
Wait, what? What did you say?
I said grape victims.
I can't actually hear what you're saying.
Grape. Just take the G off.
Grape.
Just take the G off in your mind. I have to say that for TikTok to service.
Sorry. Oh, okay. My bad. I'm sorry. Grape. Yes.
So yeah, I said I value human rights over social media, and because of Trump's 60 great victims per day are being denied access to abortion, if Kamala Harris was elected, she would have codified the same protections offered under Roe v. Wade on the federal level, meaning they would regain their access to abortion. And I would rather them regain their access to abortion than me regaining access to TikTok.
Do you know the statistics of the grapes, like where they're coming from as far as
men?
Right, and from what countries and from what status, which is something that he's cleaning up, don't you think?
Oh, Pinky. Oh, yeah. Let me get this one straight. You're telling us that all the grapists are from other countries, right?
No, I'm just giving.
You're telling us that those damn undocumented migrants are very violent, right?
They definitely have that reputation, I would say.
Yeah. Hey, Pinky, guess what?
Tell me.
Are you a natural U.S.-born citizen?
I am.
Statistically speaking, you and I and all the other natural U.S.-born citizens watching this live right now are 2 times more likely to commit violent crimes such as rape compared to undocumented migrants. PNAS has been tracking crime rates since the 19th century. And we've seen this consistent pattern where undocumented migrants commit significantly less crimes than natural U.S.-born citizens. So why are you perpetuating harmful stereotypes that only aid and abet in the dehumanization of humans and which are completely false?
I agree with what you're saying as far as your actual facts. But with that being said, are you just disregarding that they're also, you know, we have illegal aliens that are causing a lot of harm and violence in our country? And I feel like that might not be the highest percentage.
You don't care about harm and violence. You don't.
I actually really do care about harm and
You
violence.
voted for a rapist.
I didn't vote, to be honest.
You support a rapist. Hey, if somebody was held civilly liable for rape, do you think they should be allowed to immigrate into America?
No.
So then why should they be able to become president?
Well, that's a good point.
Yeah, it is.
That's a good point. Now, what is going to happen? What do you think is really going to be happening? I have both sides. I could agree and disagree with different things, but as far as just opening up, you know, like if it's a smoke shop in every corner and start opening up.
Be careful to restrict
clinics.
what you say.
Right,
sometimes.
clinics. I think that could just sort of create like a culture that's not going to be as serious as, you know, years ago. I think that, you know, there was less grapes and less mistakes happening. Like, I just feel like, where is this coming from? Where are these grapes? Why are they happening? Is it more
because of like upholding the patriarchy, perpetuating grape culture, and undermining what I would consider to be an adequate level of care for grape victims and the prevention of more grapists by further condemning bad actors who do grape, right? And like supporting President Trump is only furthering grape culture in the sense that typically when people do bad things, we punish them, and that prevents them from doing more bad things moving forward. I mean, that is the whole point of the criminal justice system. That's why you get a speeding ticket for $100 when you go 5 miles per hour over the posted speed limit, right? So if we allot consequences to bad people that do bad things, if we stigmatize them, if we limit their opportunity, that's going to, A, reduce the amount of men that grape women, and B, prevent further victim blaming. But what we don't do is we don't reward them. And what did society decide to do with Donald Trump, who's raped a woman? They decided to award him, you included, with the highest ranking position of power available to any human anywhere on earth. And what do you think that's going to do when we start rewarding bad actors who do bad things? Are more men going to feel more emboldened to go out there and rape women because they know at the end of the day, even if they're convicted in a court of law, nobody will care and they'll still blame the victim? Or is that going to promote a society in which truly demonstrates care for victims and condemns rapists?
I think it could be a little bit of both, because I think society has like a different view. Every single person has a different view. So it really just depends on the situation. I mean,
out of curiosity, you just said it could be a little bit of both. How could voting a rapist into the most powerful ranking position of power available to any human condemn rapists?
Because when you look at a human being, if you're going to start judging every single person, there'd be no way for us to have a systematic, like, economic balance. Because if we're going to start pinpointing, not that is correct, it is 100% wrong, but like, this is the thing, everything has like an imbalance right now going on in the world. So how are we going to make this more balanced?
Are you saying that rapists shouldn't have the opportunity to be president is perpetuating purity culture?
No, what I'm saying is that the only trait that you're focusing on? Because that would be kind of what I'm saying.
Listen, man, I get it. Listen, I get it.
But remember, we're debating what you brought up.
Listen to me here. I get it if you're like, oh, like we shouldn't cancel people if they've made themselves better as a better as a person, and they're actively anti-racist, but maybe they slurred when they were younger. Of course, we need to recognize that's wrong, but we shouldn't cancel them today if they've put the work and the effort in. But I don't get it when you're like, oh, we shouldn't cancel a rapist who wants his victim to be imprisoned.
I definitely think if there's rapists, they should be imprisoned. That's not what I'm saying.
So you think Donald Trump should be president from jail?
I mean, do you want to know all the other rapists that are running the entire country? I mean, Kamala.
Yeah,
I mean,
so there's more than one rapist. I
There's
don't think that
definitely-
changes that grape is wrong. Hey, I'm gonna look at the first American who was a slave owner the same way I'm gonna look at the last American who was a slave owner. I don't care how many came before you or how many will come after you. It's wrong, point blank, period. So if there is rapists in other very powerful positions in our government, this doesn't imply that therefore we shouldn't care that Donald Trump's a rapist and let him walk scotch-free. This just implies that we should care more about the other people that are rapists and make sure they don't walk scotch-free either.
right, but if everyone's getting away with it, what makes the difference if it's Donald Trump or someone else? Because he's the president? Do you really think that that's
What?
going to cause...
Scot-free, guys. Thank you. Not scotch-free, scot-free. So like yes, like just empirically, descriptively speaking, it will have more detrimental outcomes when we let a rapist get away with it that is controlling the country with that level of systemic power. But B, that doesn't change the fact that nobody should be getting away with it.
Exactly. So that leaves us kind of empty-handed in the situation.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Not at all. Not at
So
all.
how do we control it?
Who did Trump run against?
Well, several candidates. You're talking about...
Kamala Harris. Was she a rapist?
No.
So if you voted for her as well as the other 49.9% of American voters who voted for Trump, would Trump have gotten away with it?
So tell me, what do you prefer over the situation with Kamala? Like, what is it that you prefer? Kamala, sorry.
So what's that?
What do you prefer over the other as far as...
Yeah, I thought that
leadership?
Kamala Harris was a better candidate in every single conceivable way.
Do you have another point that we could talk over instead of just the grape situation?
Yeah, for sure. Any other reasons why you think he's doing a good job?
Well, I definitely think I had another point here.
Oh, also, if you wanted to talk about abortion, by the way, we can't hear you when you can't see me, so we can't hear you right now.
Oh, sorry.
But like
now?
you also brought up abortion earlier, and I think that you were implying that you don't think abortion should be legal. I would love to talk to you about that.
Sure. I'm not saying that it should be legal or not legal. I think that it should have its restrictions and its regulations, because just as everyone is in a situation that they shouldn't be, then there are also situations where people take advantage. And we're very, like, we know that the system has allowed people to just take advantage and just have kids and then just, I think that that's also causing a lot of the rapists in the country that are not coming from other countries. They're coming from here. Why? Because it's like a continual cycle of just, there's a lot of kids that are not being loved, and there's a lot of as far as that goes, and family court, it's just not the best in our country at all. I mean, I can't compare it to any other country because I don't know, but we have more starving children in our country than any other country. So these kids are going to grow up with a lot of trauma, which is probably what's causing a lot of this. Plus, yeah, look that up. We're the third in child trafficking. So there's just a lot of things happening that we could just start to go over. So I feel like the whole system has kind of...
Okay. Yeah.
been an
Hey, sure.
influence on
I'd like to point out here that I only have a list of 34 countries in front of me. And there's, as of 2018, there's 2 other countries off of this list of 34 that have a higher level of childhood poverty. And then once again, that does not account for every single country on the face of this planet. But it is actually pretty high. The childhood poverty rate in America as of 2018 was what? 21.2%. That's insane. That's insanely high. So let's talk about that. I was asking you about abortion, and then you went off on saying words that honestly I couldn't really understand, but I just want to stay on this. So let me ask you a question. Can we agree that childhood poverty is an issue in America that we need to fix?
Yes.
Can we say it's a very pressing issue in America that we need to fix?
Most definitely, yes.
Yeah, so when Obama passed increases in the child tax credit, childhood poverty was reduced by over 40%. Okay, and Kamala Harris ran on even higher increases compared to Trump. So it is the case that if you voted for Kamala Harris, there'd be less children in poverty in America today, and that is a direct first-order consequence of her increases in child tax credits. It's also worth pointing out that Kamala Harris wanted to give more money to people in need. And I mean, to say it very blatantly, all right? She supported tax cuts for 100 million American citizens in the low and the middle class. She wanted to give more purchasing power to those that needed it the most. Meanwhile, Donald Trump ran on lower child tax credits, meaning there would be more childhood poverty, which was the pronounced issue you pointed out, on top of the fact that overall, his economic policy reduces the purchasing power of any American making under $395,000 per year, disproportionately impacting low-income Americans the most. So Donald Trump's policy is and will continue to cultivate an environment where the worse off suffer the most. Meanwhile, Kamala Harris's policy would have cultivated an environment where the worst off would have been better. So if you care about these systemic issues, such as starving children, the very obvious vote would have been for Kamala Harris.
And so you think that these foreign tariffs are not going to circular back to our economic, local citizens as far
I
as
think that the tariffs on goods imported from other countries will end up impacting us? They already are. That's what, aided and abetted in crashing American markets because nobody knew what the hell was going on. Confidence went down and has barreled our country towards a recession. Yeah.
Well, because that's how up and downs go. You don't just watch a movie and you're in the best part or in the worst part. That's just how it rides. You can't expect things to change overnight, and you can't see an effect of something so big like this in a month or in a year. But remember, we started in 1970. When did they pass that? I have to.
Hey, do you mind if I ask you a quick question real quick? Do you like it when things go down?
I do. You want to know why?
Wait. I just want to make sure, you know exactly what you're saying. You like it when America enters into recessions?
Well, that's not what you asked me. That's a different question.
I mean, that's the down that I'm referencing. A recession's good for our country.
Well, everything that goes down has to come up. And when it comes up, it's going to come up better than it was before. This is a fact.
Oh, okay. So America going into a recession is like a bodybuilder hitting a crazy pump. Although their muscles may hurt the immediate day after, the long-term gains are going to be crazy.
Well, we're talking about 8 billion people on the planet. You have to understand.
So, no, we're talking about it. I just want to clarify. So do you think that presidents should send America into a recession more frequently because the bounce back gains will be crazy?
So I'll tell you, there's been a more frequent recession now over every something years than back, I don't know when, that was every 20 years.
And I'll tell you something else that's happened. 15 out of the last 16 recessions have happened under who? Republicans. So maybe you should stop enabling the issue in which you think is only becoming more predominant as we move on.
It's not that we're being more predominant, it's that we're being we're not relying on so many other countries. That's what's made our economic system weak. And
that's what's made our that's what's made the American economy go boom. One of the big reasons why America possesses the largest economy on the face of the planet is because of globalization of commerce, because of a focus on
overproduction of culture. Our culture has a problem of overproduction purchasing. That has come with an expense, not only to our environment, to our health.
Wait.
to
So
our
your response to over purchasing. Your response.
system.
So your response to over purchasing isn't to be like, well, maybe we should normalize financial education and put it into public schools curriculum. But your response is rather, we're going to force you to own nothing and be happy.
It's not own nothing. That's not the case. It's not wastefully purchasing at a low price. That no wonder it's like that.
Who
Because
do you think enables Americans to overspend? Okay, because
Well,
right
it
now
was-
you're
it
telling us
was
that the
us.
issue is the people, right? Us. I disagree. I think it's the oligarchs and billionaires, right?
Well-
Maybe it's because people have made 11 figures off of the overspending of the average everyday American. And when you turn around and say, oh my God, you know what? It's an issue of the people. They need to own nothing and be happy. And that's why America needs a recession today. But then you allow Elon Musk to give himself like an additional $50 billion in free grants from the federal government because he oversees the departments that are granting SpaceX more money. You're like, I like that guy. Here's my thing. As soon as you start defending a recession and you're like, that is a good thing that we need, I start looking at you like you're insane.
Well, I'm a little bit insane because I got to tell you. I mean, I don't know. Every smart, visionary, and innovative person is not all, with every screw perfectly in there. So yeah, I could call myself a little insane, but like honestly, I think that reforming and the whole process is a way to reform and kind of bring things back together. Do I think that it's going to work out perfectly? I can't see that far out. But what I do know
So
is
it's basically a Hail Mary you're tossing here, right?
well, the whole country is built off of that anyways.
No, it's not. No. But here's my response.
We're a country that came and took the land out of indigenous people to be built off of faith. And
Just
here we are now.
allow me. Wait. What did you just say about indigenous people? I wanted to make a point, but I'm really curious. What did you just say about indigenous people?
I said this country started by ripping the land from indigenous culture. So we have we've always been
true. Yes, we stole land and
right. So we've always
50 million indigenous Americans.
Right. So we've always been in this same cycle of sort of taking and rebuilding and making things better. And this is like almost like it's not stopping. So the only way that this is going to work is that if the balance comes with everybody and it's not one side or another. Let me ask you a question.
I have a question. Do you think that it was a good thing Kamala, do you think it was a good thing that the colonizers genocided 50 million Native Americans?
Most definitely not.
Okay, but you said they made things better. So I don't think that one of the largest genocides in human history made things better.
Wait. What? Tell me. What? Can you say that again? Because I
said I don't think one of the largest genocides in American history made things better.
Which one are you referring to?
The genocide of 50 million to 100 million Native Americans. But I just want you to sit on that. Okay, maybe like consider.
Did you say that it did not make things better?
Not better for the Native Americans. Let me ask you this: who are things better for because of that? For the oppressors, for the murderers, for the slaughterers, for the people that stole the land and killed the Native Americans.
Who were they?
Who were they? The original colonizers of the east coast of North America.
Yeah, they were the British.
So like the white men that owned property.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. I'm not so sure where you were hoping to lead that point to.
We were talking about something right before, and it was leading to something. That's kind of where I was going at, but now I kind of lost where we were at. We were talking about you were making a point, and then I brought that up. So it was supposed to go together. So we're gonna have to like either reverse or keep it going forward. But there was a point there.
Ma'am, I'm not so sure there's been a point to anything you've said with us so far today. So you're basically arguing that Donald Trump. I remember my point. yeah, you're basically saying that the recession Donald Trump is sending our country into is probably a good thing and will likely lead to better outcomes in the long term. That is cult-like behavior, and that's predicated on like your just undying devotion to the Orange Man, and it's not founded upon any like sense of reason or logic. And like right, I obviously think that's like a very big example of anti-intellectualism, and I want to be able to address that. But B, before I do, like, I don't know, I just hate it when I see people refuse to hold their leaders to any sense of accountability, because the only thing that we, the people, can do to ensure our leadership is making the best decisions for us is to hold them accountable. And when you argue that we should hold them to no level of accountability because whatever
No,
they
I
do
didn't
is good,
say that. I definitely didn't
yes, you
say
did.
that.
That is incredibly regressive to the state of this country and everybody in it. But my main point here is, you were telling us that, you know, you think that this could end up leading to good outcomes in the long term. You have no evidence of that. What's the relevant distinction between like you and a flat earther or you and an anti-vaxxer, right? These beliefs are predicated on the foundation of a rejection of objective means of research, and anti-intellectualism just to serve to your emotions, right? So what's the relevant distinction between like you, a visionary, I guess, as you self-defined, and a flat earther or an anti-vaxxer?
Okay, first of all, I definitely think that you have to understand what I was saying before. There is no way things are going to balance by keeping them the same.
Yeah, that's why we were going to make them better with Kamala Harris. God, it's like you think that Kamala Harris was just going to sit there for 4 years and do nothing. No, she was going to pass tax cuts for 100 million hardworking Americans. She was going to give us a $25,000 subsidy to first-time homebuyers to buy newly developed property. She was going to increase the child tax credit. There's going to be active change in this country to hopefully take one step in the right direction.
Okay, do you know the biggest problem that this country has, or how about a global problem? Because the biggest
problem this country has, the biggest problem this country has is people like you who will kiss the ring of a leader that is in despite of even your own self-interest as a woman, but more so against the self-interests of all Americans and for the better of humanity, because you want to feel like you're a part of a group. Right?
No, let me say something to you. I'm going to stop you right there. Not only am I a civic
that wants to absolutely destroy this country.
Let me explain something. You are so wrong. Not only am I just now beginning you don't understand. I can't say how wrong you are. I'm not even a part of anything. I'm here giving a debate because that's what your channel is offering, so that you don't just take me off, because that's the whole point of this entertainment. So I'm giving my opinions, but I'm definitely not kissing nobody's butt or anybody. I'm totally think that everything needs to be changed on all levels, but there's only so much that we could fight for, and there's only so much that we could complain about.
Bro, you told us the fact that Donald Trump is sending us into a recession is a good thing. I'm so sorry.
How much do you want to bet about that? How about we bet $1,000 that that's correct in the future?
You want me to bet you $1,000 that a recession is bad? Sure. Who do you want to be our middleman?
I don't know. I guess the watchers right now. I have no idea. But like,
I'm gonna go ahead and need you to put the money in
an escrow?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay. I'm gonna need you to put the money in escrow.
That's not gonna even work, because with the whole systems, at least he's also into cryptocurrency and like helping us decentralize.
Oh, really? How's your crypto mark do? How's your crypto wallet doing? Mine's lost 50% since the inauguration.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. There was a motorcycle driver.
My crypto wallet has gone down by just around 50% since Trump's inauguration.
Do you think it's going to stay down, or you think it's going to go up?
It will stay down as long as America is barreling in towards negative GDP growth with huge reductions in consumer confidence and stagnation inside of our manufacturing sector. Crypto markets, especially like the larger coins such as BTC, ETH, etc., generally do track like more conventional markets, and as long as conventional markets are going down, so will they.
Okay, what else can we talk about? Because there's a couple of other things you were saying that I made no point, so I guess I need to make some better points here.
Okay, yeah, no, for sure. Feel free, but I do want to respond to somebody in the YouTube chat. Says Dean bought scam coins. Nah, bro, I'm on Ethereum, and Ethereum's gotten fucked, man. Take it away.
You guys should check out some. It's called Titcoin. I think it's already down, but it's a little meme coin that was doing pretty good.
Do not. I do not endorse her message. Don't do
No,
it.
I don't know. I just said check it out. I'm just saying, just for entertainment wise. Don't take my advice. That's for sure.
Please
on that.
Don't dump your money into a meme coin. Is there anything else that you want to run on? That you want to run on me? Any other positions here? Any other reasons why you support the current status quo of harm, destruction, authoritarianism, fascism, and
I support with a balance, seeing that there's some positive changes that are going to come out of it. First, no one has ever stood up to any Chinese minister or to anyone like Trump has, at least for that sakes, because they're about to take over the world, honestly, right underneath our feet. Like, I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, but not only China has bought over like the most, where they're gonna drill the most like gold reserves. They have everything. They have the oil. They have the reserves. They're just taking over.
You know, like right now, we've empowered China even more. Would you like to know how?
Tell me, yeah, I would love to know.
Yeah, because Donald Trump said we're no longer doing business with you. Okay, then what does China do? They go and they do business with everyone else.
But what is that? Why is that going to affect us?
Well, I mean, it would affect us because a lot of the goods we import are from China. So that affects the products that our consumers buy. But this more so affects China because all of a sudden they are better positioned in global trade and commerce. And they'll, have more incentive to trade more with other countries, which will naturally give other countries more incentive to trade with them, on top of the fact that we are also tariffing every other country on Earth, which is another factor that gives other countries more incentive to trade with China. So if you're scared about like this boogeyman of Chinese dominance, like seemingly basically telling them that we're not going to do any more trade with them was a terrible idea.
I don't think so. I mean, if you're just going to stand there and let somebody just kind of bully you all the way, I think that they've had enough opportunities here, and not once have they reinvested. Well, let me not say that, because they did reinvest in a couple of ways. Reinvest any of the surplus that they gained from our...
Do you think that trade deficits are bad?
No.
Okay, so then why do you care about China's trade surplus?
Well, because it's an excess. It's just too much. So there was no cap to it. So they've basically, with our own, yeah, there's no cap. They could use that surplus to do anything. What I see is if there was
what do you think a trade surplus is?
Well, the surplus is.
You're gonna say the surplus of the trade?
Yeah, I know. Because it's like my brain. So wait, what was the question? Oh, what is the what you asked me?
Yeah, what's a trade surplus? Could you define that phrase for me?
Okay, so that is all of the income that they've got from our purchasing of their products. So they ship over the products and we purchase all of that, and all of that money just sits on their end.
So
and
it's not what a trade surplus is. So a trade surplus, so basically America is in a trade surplus with another country if we sell more products to them than they buy to us. So like think about it this way. We're gonna take Canada and America just for we're gonna take Canada and America for an example. Let's assume last year Canada bought $100 worth of American goods and we bought $200 worth of Canadian goods. Okay, well, we're in a trade deficit to Canada for $100 and they're in a trade surplus to America for $100. But I mean, this is just like a tool for accounting. It doesn't really mean anything tangible, and like trade surpluses and trade deficits aren't really a bad thing. Like for instance, assuming last month you maybe spent like $600 at your local grocery store. I mean, did your local grocery store spend any money on you? No. So that means that you're in a trade deficit to your local grocery store of $600. Is that a bad thing? No. right? And I mean, like, it's just kind of the product of free trade as well. Like, when we consider the fact that America's the richest country on earth, we account for 30% of global commerce, and we have nearly 350 million Americans. We're going to expect to be in a trade deficit with any other country that has a lower populace than us, and B, we're going to expect to be in a trade deficit with other countries that may have a higher population than us, but still yet have like significantly less money in the sense of per year gross domestic product. So I don't really think that trade surpluses or deficits are all too important.
So how do you think that they've purchased any power in any of the sectors, as far as where do you think that they're, I mean, have you like studied how they've progressed as a country? Not only did China have zero like natural resources, now they have control over a lot of the natural resources.
Yeah, they found a lot of mines. I think that just found like one of the largest raw mineral mines for, what was it? Something big? I don't know. Why does this matter?
Because they've purchased that from a lot of the surplus. That's where that was coming from.
What?
What they've gained from the surplus, they've invested that.
Who's they? Out of curiosity, who's they?
China.
China, like the government?
Yes.
Okay, no, like the actual money that accounts for that trade surplus is going to be the money that Chinese companies receive when Americans buy their products.
Right, that's what I'm saying to you. Because we've allowed them to infest our entire country with just their products, we're making them more.
Okay, she sucks. I do have to kick her. And then also, like, hey guys, I'm so sorry. I actually have to go. I have a meeting in 10 minutes, so I'm gonna spend like 8 minutes here reading off the rest of the donations and hanging out with y'all for a second. But I lost track of the time, and I just remembered that I have a meeting in 10 minutes. But I promise, it's a really important meeting. It's actually with somebody that works with Buttigieg. We're going to be working out the logistics for Buttigieg coming on the stream. Boom! So it's actually really exciting. Really, really exciting. I knew it was at like 5:30 my time, but honestly, when I'm doing these debates, I completely lose track of the time, dude. I just get so into them, you know, man. But we do have like a couple minutes here. I'm gonna push it to the last second before I hop off. I want to thank a couple people. Keith, thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo for the support. Everybody show some love to Keith down below, as well as Stone with the $25 on Venmo saying thank you for what you do, dude. It seems exhausting. Please take care of yourself. Yeah, Stone, I appreciate you for the $25. And B, it can get exhausting when I'm doing it day after day after day. And like the way that I guess I take care of myself is just by taking a little time off here and there. And honestly, like the last 3 days I've spent in Texas was that, you know, because another byproduct of these streams is I don't get too much socialization. Never really hang out with friends and whatnot, and that can be bad for me. So I mean, on top of going down to Texas for the first stop of the Unfuck America tour and whatnot, it was also just a really good thing for me to be able to socialize with other people. So I'm taking care of myself, but I do really appreciate you for the love, Stone. That's very kind. Then Blown with the $4 over on Venmo. When's the vid coming out? Hopefully soon on YouTube. But Blown, I heard that you were there, bro. Why didn't you say hi to me, man? I've been kind of caught up on that, Blown. I was telling Parker, like, I'm really sad Blown didn't say what's up. Austin, thank you for the $5 saying I had a great time at the Unfuck America tour at A&M. I was the guy who asked to take a selfie with you while you were on stage at Rudder, if you remember. I do remember you, Austin. Hey, I think that somebody had clipped that and posted that on TikTok. Dominic, thank you for the $10. And Brittany with a 5. Katie with a 5. Lacey with a 5. Beckett with a 5. Jacob with a 2. And then, yeah, Benjamin with a 3. You guys are also awesome. And then also, oh my God, Jack! Thank you, Jack, for the $50 donation over on PayPal. Jack says, I'm so tired of everybody saying that these tariffs are good for manufacturing. I literally was just laid off from my manufacturing job. My sister's factory laid off 300 employees and then many more. Fuck these people. Take some of my severance pay. Oh, dude, Jack. I don't think I deserve your severance pay. Do you want this back? I don't mind just like reading off the donation and then sending you your severance pay back. I want to make sure that you're good, bro. P.S. When's the full video of y'all at Charlie Kirk's thing coming out? So right now, we're kind of just focused on putting like short form content out on the socials. But once we're able to edit and get all the short form videos together, Jack, then we're going to refocus on editing a long form video for YouTube. So it may be a while, but I mean, I'm definitely going to be like putting out short form content every day for at least the next couple of days. Dude, why is there like an idiot in the chat spamming white pride, bro? What the fuck? Anyways, moving on. I'm really sorry that you got laid off, man. And that is true. There's been so many American manufacturers who have been laying off their employees because we're heading towards a fucking recession. And nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit. But yeah. All right, who's next? Sorry, I got caught away with that one. And Elena, thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo. I really appreciate you so much for the love. Elena says, I was mad at you for a while because of something you said about my job, but I take it back and I really respect you even more now. Sorry for boycotting you. Appreciate you. Elena, what's your job? You should let me know what your job is so I could remember what my thoughts are. AJ, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. Abby with a 5 as well. You guys are all very, very kind. Then Olivia, thank you for the $10 over on PayPal. And Alexander with a 15 and Shelby with a 25 as well. You guys are so incredibly kind. Then Nicole, thank you for the $20 super chat saying, never for living your life. You don't know how to give us a reason why you're leaving. Dean, please take care of yourself. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you for the $20. And then Blown follow-up says, I didn't realize you were 6'5", Blown, my guy. That's right, I'm 6'5". Actually, some might even argue I'm 7'1". 7'1", quite frankly. Anyways, hey, we have like a couple more minutes here. You guys want to talk about Texas A&M real quick for a couple minutes? I know I do. So I had like the best weekend ever. I had the best weekend ever. It was so cool. It was so fun being out there with everyone. Oh my God. Oh my God. I loved it. I loved it. I truly did. I truly did love it. And I really do think that everybody was involved. Everyone had a good time. I haven't talked to like one person that went out that had a negative experience yet. And it was great. It was great. It was really fun to be able to like demonstrate that Charlie Kirk isn't a god by making it very clear that he's scared of me. So that was great. And then like B, to be able to like connect with other creators in the community and like foster better relationships with them, as well as, you know, because we had such like a diverse group of people out there with like specialties in different like areas of thought. And, you know, when we were on stage and we ended up debating, you know, like I feel like the setup going in was like, oh, it was just going to be like me and Parker debating, me and Parker on the mic. Meanwhile, the other creators were just going to be in the area. But what it turned into was like everybody that wanted to was hopping on that mic at a point or another. And I thought I end up, you know, my concluding thoughts are, is that ended up creating like the best possible outcome ever, because then everybody got to talk about what they care about, what they're really knowledgeable about. And it was both entertaining and informative. And I thought it was great. I thought it was great. Anyways, yeah, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I also just got to get closer to other people in the community. You know what I mean, man? Like, I got to get closer with Johnny. If you watch him, if you know who Mermaid is, if you've seen her before, Erica, Brianna, thank you so much for the galaxy. Seeing Santana was sick. This guy named Chris. There's a bunch of really cool people out there, man. Everyone on that trip was super sick. Everyone. I don't think I even, like, from my own perspective, have had like a single experience with anybody else there where I was like, whoa. Like, they're not who they say they are. They're not a cool person. I thought everyone there was awesome. Oh, and you know what? We're going to go ahead and end the stream, but I'm going to send y'all on a raid to somebody that we met there. They're actually going over... Wait. Are they doing debates? I don't know what they're doing. It looks like 4 people from the tour Oh, it's a Charlie Kirk watch party? Okay, let me see if I could find some debates. Dude, the Charlie Kirk show is in their chat. What the fuck? Why is the Charlie Kirk show in their chat? Oh, that's crazy. Guys, do you want to go on a raid to this Charlie Kirk watch party that a couple of the other creators were doing on the tour, and like right now Charlie's in the chat? or like to a debate live? Yeah? Yes? Okay. It's at Simple Black Theory on TikTok. Wow, right now they actually have 1,000 people in it. That's pretty crazy. Head over there at Simple Black Theory and everybody spam Dean raid, and then like just so we could boost the engagement, and they make sure that y'all they know that y'all are coming from here, and then I guess listen in. I bet like maybe he'll try to end up getting you guys to tell Charlie to join. I think this is cool. I'm gonna go watch this. I guess I really gotta go. I have a meeting in 1 minute. Everybody go raid at Simple Black Theory. I need to go to the meeting now. At Simple Black Theory on TikTok. On TikTok at Simple Black Theory. But yeah, I'm gonna go to an end. I love you guys so much. At Simple Black Theory on TikTok, and head over there. Go check it out. I think they're trying to get Charlie Kirk to join the live, and he's in their chat. I saw it with my own eyes. Charlie Kirk is in their chat over there. But all right, love you guys. At Simple Black Theory on TikTok. Bye, y'all.